Hi, this is Roy Evins, the Executive Director of the Urban Nerd Con. Our heroes, our villains, our stories, everyone's con. Make sure you tune in and check out the Sci-Fi Sisters. No better sci-fi talk anywhere on the World Wide Web, baby.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Sci-Fi Sisters podcast, where we give you our point of view. I'm Tamia Harper, and I'm joined by my sisters, Yvette Blackman-Time.
Hello.
And Sabrina Wood.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. We got a fantastic show because we have one of, I think, our very first honest to God for true repeat guest on. And we're really excited to bring him back. He is the CEO of Jericho Broadcasting Network, which is the world's first HBCU sports network. And he is the founder and the director of one of our favorite cons, the Urban Nerd Con. So please welcome everybody, Roy Evins. Hi, Roy.
Hey.
Hello. How are you ladies doing?
We're great. How are you?
We're great
Look,
now.
I feel like super special now being the first repeat guest because I was so geeked the first time. Like I told everybody about your show. It's just like, oh my God, Black women talking sci-fi stuff. You gotta go look at this and listen. So yeah, I'm geeked and honored to be your first repeat guest.
Yay, we're honored to have you back, buddy, because we like you as a human being. You're really cool. And he really is, y'all. Y'all need to look this brother up and check out Jericho Broadcasting Network, because what he does in his real life is really phenomenal and amazing for Black folks and HBCUs and sports. And he's like only just the beginning. But we also really love you because we super love the Urban Nerd Con and what it stands for, why it exists, and what it's all about. And we're so far behind you. We got everything behind you. I said so far behind you, but that's not what I meant. It's so far behind you. Like, that's not what I meant. It's coming out of my mouth and I'm hearing it. And I'm like, what?
We're catching up.
No.
We're catching there. We're getting you.
So despite my twisted tongue, Roy, can you please tell us what the Urban Nerd Con is and why it's important?
Wow. So the Urban Nerd Con is something that I've been dreaming about for years. Of course, we are of a certain age and, growing up in the 70s and 80s and being a Black nerd was not as easy as it is now and getting engaged in a lot of things. But we know that there were thousands of us out there and we wanted to create a space. There were two primary reasons. Three, I'm sorry. One, to create a space for us to gather and feel at home. You talk about the Jericho Broadcast Networks as well as the Black College Sports Network, which is the division of the company that does the HBCU sports.
Okay.
That was born out of my time at Florida A&M University.
Right.
And having been, I was honors AP student throughout, my regular schooling. So I was always one of 2 or 3 Black kids in the class, if we had that. But I then had the opportunity to go to Florida A&M. And now I have friends who are literal rocket scientists. I have friends, I was the average guy on campus. And being around that kind of Black brilliance was like, we've got to, it caused me to want to permeate that through all of the other stuff that we did. And so my nerddom was like, we got to create almost like that kind of HBCU feeling at a con so that we don't feel marginalized. We don't feel kind of, they threw something together for us as Black folks at this con if they do it, where we can all just be there and gather. So that was that was the other, or the first primary reason. The second reason we started the con was because we wanted to celebrate the people who have been in this industry who look like us, who have never gotten their due. And not just those who are in front of the camera that we've seen, but also those who have been in the comic book area, who are drawing and writing these comic books, creating these characters, creating these stories, and all of those kinds of things. We were always there. It's just that nobody knew because they never were publicized. They never were put out front. So that was another thing that because we want to celebrate our folks who were trailblazers and people who paved the way for this generation of comic folks. And then the biggest thing, and this is part of that kind of rolls through, is I wanted to create a safe space for young blurs. I wanted them to be able to go somewhere and see everything that looks like them out in space, out in fantasy, in horror, whatever it is, because our kids believe that they achieve what they believe they can do.
Right.
And the easiest way to do that is to let them see it. If they see themselves in spaces or if they see adults in spaces that look like them, it makes it so much easier for that child to be like, hey, I can do that then. This guy can do it. I can do that. If that lady can be over there, I can be in this. I can do this kind of stuff. I can fly to Mars and do all of these kind of things. I can create a book and put it out there. So that was the big thing, is making sure that our young blurs had a space that would inspire them and spark their imaginations.
I love it. I love everything about that. Right, Sabrina?
I do too. I mean, I really like that idea of, having a space that feels like an HBCU space that you had. That was really a great way to phrase it because, I went to a predominantly white college, and I know sometimes I was saying today, I'm jealous sometimes that I didn't go to one, but I love my school. Don't yell at me, Holy Cross Crusaders. But, every time, we have, it's homecoming weekend here at Howard University this weekend. And I'm like, oh, I'm not a Bison.
And listen, we're all, and this is one of the things we talk about just as an aside with the HBCUs. Everybody in this country who is, as we like to just put it, as of African descent, has a connection to an HBCU.
True.
So all you have to do is find one and support it, and trust me, they will bring you in like family and treat you as such. But that's what we do as a culture. That is how we function. And
Very
so
true.
that's the key to it, And I spent time, I tell people I actually spent time at a PWI, predominantly white institution too, and it was a completely different feeling. So I'm speaking from the experience of both sides.
That's great. I love it. I wish I had that experience of both sides as well.
Oh, me too.
But I
We're
don't.
gonna go to Urban NerdCon and get a little bit of it.
Yeah, I was about to say
exactly.
You're there, and we'll have
That's
that.
it.
You'll get it.
So now, last year at the con, one of the things that we loved the most, and I think one of the things that resonated the most with our listeners, was the Young Nerd badges and the opportunity to sponsor, and provide badges for young kids. Can you talk about those a little bit?
Oh, listen, I absolutely will. Like I said, the young nerds are our biggest mission in this. And so what we'd like to do is we're hoping that people will donate the badges. So we moved it this year. Well, it was planned to be in Atlanta this year. And we will be in Atlanta in 2024. And we'll come back to all of that and talk about what happened with it. And I know there are 4 major counties. I think there's one other one that I'm trying to remember, and I can't seem to remember it. Our goal is to be able to give a minimum of 1,000 badges to each school district and have the kids come out and they can pick it out. And we're going to tell them, it's like, hey, we're going to push this thing and use it as a reward for academic success, for social success in the classes and things of that nature. The badges are $25, but out of that, every child gets $10 to spend at the con. And the goal for that is that we don't want any child to leave the event without something, again, that sparks their imagination. And I have to do a quick shout out because when we did this year one in Montgomery in 2022, and I can't think of his last name, but David
Gregory.
one of your
David
David Gregory, yeah.
Yes.
You're listening, dude. You are the bomb.
Yes, he is.
David supported it, and he sent it in. Even when we had our issues, he was like, "Keep it. Then we know you're gonna get this thing moving again, and I'll do more." So we want to thank David, and I'm gonna say that now because I think I told Yvette about this. David, we got some special stuff for you coming to the con this year.
Yay.
Because of the fact that you were so supportive of those young nerd badges too.
Yeah, David is a brother that I wish everybody in the world had an opportunity to meet because, we've been so blessed to get to know him during our journey. I'm putting him on blast because he's an extremely humble human being who is just embodies a deep well of generosity and love. And he's the type of brother who puts his money where his mouth is, he takes the actions. He doesn't just talk the talk, he walks the walk in every aspect of his life. And he's such a amazing human being that he's just really blessed all of our lives. So David, we love you to pieces. Thank you. Yeah, my little digression. Sorry, go ahead.
No worries. It was good.
Well, this is another thing that that I'm jealous of because the first con I ever went to, I think I was 17, but that's because it was the first con.
It was the very first con. Right?
I went to
you should qualify that.
I had been to the first Star Trek convention ever, and I was 17.
So cool. That's so cool that you were there.
I was there, boy. I was there from day one. But I wish I could have.
That's awesome.
Oh my God! I know I'm that. You know what?
Right.
So I am so jealous of these kids that get to go to cons and at 8, 9, and 10 because I would have been so loving that at that point. So that's just the age where those eyes are wide and they're just seeing all this stuff, and I love to watch them. Find this stuff and just, I can't wait to see them. I'm so excited about that. I really love it when kids get into sci-fi. That is one of my favorite things to see.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the reasons, there's plenty of conventions around, but, this is one of the reasons why we love this convention so much, is because, again, it's putting words into action, it's making a difference. It's not just, it's taking it one step above and beyond just a gathering of like-minded individuals, right? We're a gathering of like-minded individuals with a purpose, and particularly to be able to help in any way young nerds, and specifically, and a lot of times young Black kids mainly, that's our emphasis. That's a beautiful thing to us,
Yeah, listen, we make no bones about certain things, and this stems from the top down as far as the Jericho broadcast networks. We say we are an unapologetically Black network. We are our stories, again, our story, our culture, our view of these things. But what we also say is that we create content that any reasonably intelligent person will enjoy.
Right.
And so that is something, we like to say that we have more in common than we have apart, but you have to be able and willing to look at those differences and be like, oh, wait a minute, I actually do kind of do that, just be honest with yourself.
Yep.
I love it. So we got some good pricing coming up too. But before we get into pricing, can we talk? I'm sorry, I want to take us a little bit back. I want to go. Can we talk about some of the guests who will be coming this year?
Sure, we can do that. We can definitely do that. So we're gonna go back. One of the things that happened again, which I know we'll talk about, the reset, is that we're going back to what we like to call our core group of guests, who are our first group of folks that we're expecting to be there, and these are the folks who were actually at the 2022 con down in Montgomery. And so we're looking at having as we like to call her now, Auntie Adele Simmons.
Yay!
You know, Star Trek. Listen, we were Star Trek heavy, of course. We know that. So Adele Simmons, Dave Fennoy, voice actor, Kevin Grievous, who's done Star Trek, and also is the writer of the Underworld series. Anthony Edwards, who from Enterprise. Anthony Montgomery.
Montgomery.
Yeah.
Yay.
Anthony Montgomery. Yep. And let's see. We also, I know I got the other one, but I'm saving him for last because that's my guy. He just said no. Tybok. How do I forget the Last Dragon?
Oh, yeah.
Leroy. So he'll be coming back again. We've actually also added Tim Russ is excited about coming out to the con. So we're excited to have Tim Russ there.
And his band, right?
And his band, him and his brothers, they're going to perform. They're going to do a concert at the event.
I love it.
Nice.
And then, of course, Mr. Jake Cisco himself, Ciroc Lofton.
Yay!
So my guy, yeah, man. Listen, I told Ciroc, he literally had me in tears at one point when we were going through some of the struggles and some of the things that were happening. One with a first year con, just really trying to pull things together, and that he's a great dude, man. He is a great dude. So
he's one of the best.
Yeah.
Yep. We love him.
Little brother.
So, but those are our original guests that are coming. Well, Tim Russ is new. He's one of the new ones. China McCoy. If you saw The Matrix, he was the action body double for Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh,
and all
wow.
the martial arts fighting.
Yeah.
Cool.
So my guy China, he actually does his company now, Fight for Film, where he teaches people to fight for the film industry and doing things like that. He also has his own comics and characters that he's created that he'll be talking about. We are working on. We haven't gotten it. Well. So I'm not going to say who we're working on. We've got some of the early 2000 Nickelodeon folks coming. Ooh. Giovanni Samuels, Latera Newsom. But yeah, some of the folks from that early 2000s era of Nickelodeon is going to be out. Oh gosh, who are some of the new folks? People who were supposed to come year one that we didn't get that we're hoping to be able to pull out is going to be a gentleman named Panu. I think Panu has done some Star Trek, but he's mostly with our Stargate stuff. Peter Williams, the other guy. I forgot Peter Williams from Stargate, who was the original, as I like to call him, the original big bad. He played Apophis in the original Stargate SG-1 series.
Nice.
Peter is going to be there. He's really cool, too. Then we have Simone Bailey. These are some of our Stargate folks. Tony Amendola, who played Master Braytek. The schedule, we're looking to bring him in.
Cool.
And Steve Basic, who was on there. He also played in, what was the other thing that he played in? The one with Kevin Sorbo. I forget the Andromeda. He played in Andromeda. No, he played in Andromeda.
Oh, okay. Cool.
More Star Trek reference.
But yeah, so we've got a lot of that, but we've got some really great people who are in the comic book industry that are going to be coming out, and it's going to be amazing. We're looking to have a lot of fun and just, again, celebrate our people and just be in a space. And here's the thing. Here's this kicker. I'd like to say, be in a space where blurs from 6 to 75 can all come together and have fun and enjoy and see the things that we need to do, that we want to see.
I just made it in there. Okay.
William Hayashi. You guys know William Hayashi?
Yeah.
William, we're working on trying to get William out here. William's my guy. I've been working with William for years. He's actually got some great things happening with his Dark Side trilogy books.
Man.
You didn't know? Yes. Oh. Well, they are going to be made into a series on Netflix. They've already started production.
What?
Yes.
Okay. Netflix originals. Let's go.
I gotta get Netflix again.
And
I can't let that go.
He's working with Regina King's production company on it.
Actually.
That's so
nice.
Even better. Better.
Yeah, we're hoping to get him. He had a couple of medical issues.
Okay.
But we're working on it. I talked to him the other day, and it's like, yo, dude, we gotta get you back out here.
Yeah.
So he was like, no doubt, let's make it happen. So we're hoping to working that out.
So, real quick, did we say the dates that are going to happen? When
Not yet.
Okay.
Oh, let's do that.
So we
Make
have
sure.
shifted the con to April 26th through the 28th of 2024. It is the last weekend in April.
That's great.
Our goal was we initially were going to do it that first weekend in May, but folks were like, "Oh wait, that's Free Comic Book Day or Comic Book Day," and a lot of the Black comic creators, that's an opportunity for them to make a lot of extra money. So we didn't want to impede on that.
Yeah.
We said, "Hey, let's go ahead and move it up." And actually, I wanted to make sure that the kids were still in school. We wanted to get it because we want kids doing it. We tried to do it during the summer. This past year, it didn't work, and in 2022 we did it during the summer. Didn't get as many kids as we wanted in the space. But if they're in school, we know at the end of the end of the year, teachers are always looking for field trips things to go on. So,
oh man, that would be the field trip.
That's right, because the goal, like you said, with the Young Nerd badges, is to be able to donate those in these school districts.
Yep.
I love that.
I know.
I would love to have a field trip to a con.
To a con?
Can I get one? Can we do it as an adult?
You can give me $10?
Well, listen, that's actually one of the things that we do. So for every 5 Young Nerd badges that are donated, we give an adult badge so that they can have an adult supervisor with them at the con.
Perfect.
Love that.
Perfect.
See, so thoughtful, man.
Yes.
Y'all have thought this out.
Yeah.
Really practical ways to give to the community. I love it.
Yeah. Little nerdy vet would have loved this.
Little nerd Tamia would have too.
So would little nerd Roy. Yeah. Honestly, this is, that whole thing with the Young Nerd badges. I was that kid growing up that, if I wanted to buy something when we went on these field trips, I was either going to buy something and not eat lunch.
Yeah.
Or I just wasn't going to get anything.
Yep.
And, there were times, where I'd saved up my money and I was able to do some extra things. But then, you see your classmate who didn't have that opportunity. And like I said, I don't want any kids leaving our space without a smile on their face, whether it's something that they did while they were there or something that they took with them that leaves with them when they get out. So
that's right. Because they each awesome. They get little bags, right? Like with their little badges.
That's an idea. I hadn't thought about that.
Oh, I don't know. I thought never mind. They get the $10, right?
They get $10.
They get $10.
It's called con bucks. We give them con bucks.
Con bucks.
Yeah. I just had a flash of like the 4 of us as little kids with Roy, and I don't know what parent would have been minding us of the 5 of us running around. $50.
I'm everywhere. I'm like, oh look,
hey, Roy, come over here. Right. It would have been off.
Y'all have been looking for me.
I know. Where's the bed? I don't know, Ma.
We would have found you at one of the comic book creators.
Yeah,
that's where I would have
been in the comics.
That's exactly what I've been.
It's like we all went that TNG episode where everybody
turned into kids.
Sabrina would have had on Guinan's big ass hat.
Oh man! Would you have the hairband that you?
I would roll. If I got Picard, no, yeah, I'm gonna be. I'm a kid that's like running around. Like I said, no.
There wouldn't have been a Picard in our group.
No.
Oh my God! I'm a Photoshop that. Roy, you gonna get a picture Photoshop?
Hey, I'm all for it.
Urban Nerd Con badge is here.
I also had when you said that too, Roy, I had this great image of all of us as Peanuts characters.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Trooping along like your feet moved when they all moved as a group.
Yeah.
Oh my Urban
See, now that just made me remember the old Fat Albert cartoon.
Right. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Bouncing as the whole little pile of us was walking around. So, yep.
Fat Albert.
Oh
my God.
Now the song is in my head.
Right.
Little kid Goose.
And for those of you all who don't know the song for the intro to Fat Albert, please Google it.
Go ahead.
Google it.
Go ahead and YouTube it. Pull it up.
Pull it up on YouTube, and your
Yes.
whole world will be
Yeah,
better.
you can thank us later.
Yep.
So it's not just the kids that you're serving. What else have you got ready to whip up for everybody that's coming to the con?
Oh wow! So
Us
we're
old
definitely going to
folks.
do some cosplay. You know, we're expecting some great cosplay stuff. We're definitely going to do a showcase. We're working on whether or not we're going to do some competitions with different things. For the cosplay, we got a gaming lounge. Retro Gaming Lounge is one of our partners who's been there with us. So the kids will be able to go and do free gameplay
Cool.
throughout the con.
Nice. Yeah, that's good.
Oh my goodness. Oh, and then we will also have some grown folk spades being played.
That's
You know,
yes.
yeah, I gotta have spades. So
Mhm.
listen, that's part of that whole HBCU culture. We gotta do it.
That's black. Period. That's just
Exactly.
blackity black.
Showing up at the barbecue. That's right.
That's right.
That's what all the black
And
kids
all
at
that
the
kinda
PWI were playing.
Right. So listen, that's one of the things. Like I said, we get together, you get 4 or 5 of us, and there it is. It's like
That's it.
there's
Hello.
enough for the game. The panels, I mean, I think our panels are just gonna be amazing. The folks that we have coming in are just, I mean, it's you know, we're putting some things together, but we're also still taking suggestions. We're
Okay.
still looking for things and see what people want to do. You know, we've definitely going to do some voiceover panels and workshops.
Oh, great.
Ooh,
You
that
know,
is hot.
some creating comic pages and, you know, character development, all those kind of things. We're going to probably do a couple of sip and draws, sip and
Oh
paints.
Lord.
So
I did a bunch of those this summer.
yeah, yeah.
You
So
were sipping, huh, girl?
Ooh, and paint came out good. I was like, ooh, thank God for sipping.
But did
yeah.
it look good the next day too?
No, not at all.
Yeah, that's my point. I rest my case.
There you go.
So is there are you guys doing like any fan-led panels at all?
Yeah, all you have
Do
to do is
people
submit 'em.
having yeah, say go ahead.
Yep.
Yeah.
We had a couple, I can't remember what they were. Fabulous young lady by the name of Renee Cooper has been in charge of coordinating our panels and stuff. But there is space for fan panels. All you have to do is submit them. The site will go back active November 1 with all
Great.
the new stuff for people to be able to start back submitting. And, you know, because we're going to verify if the folks who signed up for those panels before that we had are still coming through and all that kind of thing. And then we're going to go ahead and start opening it back up for more folks to come out and get engaged.
Fantastic. I'm really looking.
Everybody, get your panel ideas ready.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So what's
Right.
can you give us the website?
TheUrbanNerdCon.net.
So now we've got all this deliciousness out there, right? To whet everybody's appetite. Now tell them the real deal, Roy, because they can get all of this programming for a song.
Just about
Mm-hmm.
$50. That is our base ticket price to get you access to, you know, pretty much everything based on, you know, of course, limitations of space and all those kind of things. You know, the pretty much the majority of the regular panels and all those things. But yeah, the $50 that's the adult ticket price for the entire weekend.
Until
January 31st.
That's right.
All right,
2024. You know, that's part of the challenge that we had. We have to get better at buying our tickets for things that happen. You know, and I don't know if we want to just go ahead and get into this now before we jump into the pricing.
Yeah, go ahead.
We did have to postpone the con this year. And that primarily happened because there were several commitments that were made that some folks fell through on, but we even then did not do a lot of pre-sales. We actually had more pre-sales of tickets when we held the con first year in Montgomery, Alabama, than we did in Atlanta, Georgia, which I thought was mind-blowing.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
You know, being in Atlanta, we really expected, we knew we would have a large walk-up contingent, but we really expected that people would support and come out from that. You know, we're going to do the event. And that was one of the reasons. So because of those funds not coming through, I had to postpone the event. I knew that coming into the year, I would be able to cover whatever I needed to because of our general work that we do with the network and everything and the things that we had coming in from our broadcast. So we're just, we're setting it up and getting everything ready. We're still at the same hotel. It is the Cortland Grand now, formerly known as the Sheridan, but it is now called the Cortland Grand, still 165 Cortland Street, downtown Atlanta. We'll be right there, and they're still excited to work with us, and so we're excited. We're ready to move it forward, but we've got to have folks pre-selling or pre-purchasing these tickets. This will clear up all of the issues that may come up if we can get those folks in. And it was crazy because we were looking at it, and I, being the anal retentive Virgo that I am, of course, I backtracked this thing from whatever side I needed to. And we needed 3,000 badges sold that could have covered everything.
Right.
And that was, 3,000 of our regular weekend badges. If we would have gotten those sold, and it's just like, we literally did 1,600 badges in Montgomery, year one. And,
wow.
And it was just like, I'm like, there's no way that we don't meet that number in Atlanta, but we didn't. We're going to make some changes with the way we're promoting, pushing, and doing some things, but getting out there and getting aggressive. But we need folks to support. The weekend badge again is $50 for all 3 days. Then we have what we're going to call our tracked badges. We know we're going to do Star Trek, Stargate. And actually, I can say comics. I know we're going to do comics, and we're working on horror to see if we can get those things. Those badges are going to be $75 each up until January. Well, let's put it this way. All of these prices are good until January 31st.
That's right. Yes.
So let's just blanket that. The Young Nerd badges are the only ones that don't change. The Young Nerd badges stay the same price. And with the tracked badges, those will give you special access or advanced access to the different panels and things of those nature. So if you're a massive Star Trek fan, if you want to make sure that you get into this panel with certain people, you want to get that badge for the tracked,
right?
And that'll help get you closer to the front of the line. And then we're going to have the VIP badges that will be $100. Now, those are basically VIP inside of the tracks as well, that you'll be able to get that. So you'll have that. They're going to get early entry, preferred seating, and some really cool swag stuff that we're going to give out.
Ooh,
there will be limited numbers of the VIP badges because of some of the other events that we're going to do. So it won't just be, like everybody, we're not going to have 10,000 people or 4,000 people walking around with VIP badges.
Yeah.
It's going to be VIP. We're probably going to cap that at a few hundred.
You know how we feel about VIP.
We do love some VIP.
We love some VIP.
There you go.
I mean, I just think that it's incredible because I don't know any convention that you can go to and have $50 for the whole weekend. Like, we're not talking $50 for the day. Like, I have paid $50 for a day at a convention. We're talking $50 for the entire weekend of programming and access. That's amazing, And
at a major city.
In a major city, and again, this is yet another reason why I'm such a big fan of the Urban Nerd Con, because keeping it accessible, means that everybody has an opportunity to go.
Yeah. I mean, our thing is, yes, this is a business. We're going to make money. But I tell people all the time, I say, listen, I have always been a bigger fan of what I call the Walmart or the Sam Walton philosophy. Sell a lot of them at a lower price. Because but again, it's about what we're trying to do. We want to expose as many people to this space. We want to expose as many young kids as we can to an environment where they are not feeling marginalized, where they're not feeling like an outsider. And yeah, we know Atlanta's a chocolate city, so there are black folks all over the place. But it still doesn't matter. The major cons, when they come here, it's still the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they're at a point now where you've got to have blacks at Dragon Con or blacks at MomoCon, and you've got to do all of those things because for years you haven't even paid any attention to them.
Right.
And so it's, we're going to create that space. And because of the success of those things, we know that we can create something here in Atlanta that will be special. And, I want it to be around for the next 30, 40 years.
Right.
So that, and we'll make our money. We'll eventually make our money. We're not,
Oh yeah, definitely.
This is about the goal of spreading this stuff around. So, and the con's for everybody. Remember, that's what we say. Our heroes, our villains, our stories, everyone's con. We want everybody to come out.
That's right.
We want you guys to see some of this Black brilliance that you haven't been exposed to.
Yes.
Right.
So, yeah.
I love it.
And who's coming this year? The Sci-Fi Sisters.
Yay! Sci-Fi Sisters will be there.
We will be there with you this year, no doubt.
ATL.
So looking forward to it.
Yep.
Yeah, we were very disappointed we couldn't make it the first time.
Yeah.
But definitely going to be there this year. Definitely.
Whoop,
So
whoop.
we'll be there. We're going to be doing some panels. We're going to have a vendor table. We'll have some great swag.
We're gonna have a section.
We're going to have a section.
We're gonna have a section.
Oh my God, Roy. Oh my goodness.
Do whatever they want to do.
But yeah, so
we're gonna try to do a live show.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
definitely gonna
that's
have
great.
some Urban Nerd Con only gear.
Yes.
So I got it. We're gonna have some good stuff. Yeah, some good
That's
stuff.
actually something else that you just mentioned that I definitely want to mention to people. And we're going to put this out to different podcasters because live streaming is our business. That's what we do. Like I said, the Jericho Broadcast Networks, we know was the first commercial Black-owned streaming company in the country. We know we were one of the first 10.
Okay.
We think 5, but we know we were one of the first 10 live streaming companies in the country.
Oh.
There will be a space for podcasters to come and broadcast live from the con.
That's gonna be so cool.
Right. I know.
Yeah.
And Roy, can we just back up a little bit? Can you give some context to that statement for folks? Can you let people know, like, when you're talking about, like, as the first, because I think a lot of us don't get that and how deep the roots go and how far back you go.
Yeah, we created our first podcast in 1998.
See,
It was called the BCSN Sports Rap.
Wow.
That's a mic drop. 1998, y'all. Y'all ain't doing nothing new with your little podcast.
Right.
Yeah,
You're doing something new. 1998, folks.
We were, and this was still dial-up because high-speed internet didn't hit the general public until December of 1999.
See, wrap that around your
And
heads. Like,
so,
they don't even know what high-speed dial-up is.
They have
don't
no
even,
clue.
I mean, like, the dial-up is. They're like, who?
yeah, what's a dial-up? Right, what's a dial?
All I hear is that. All I hear is that damn noise in my
I
head.
know it. We all heard it.
AOL.
AOL. Oh my goodness.
Yep, that one. And then in January 1st of 2000, we actually launched our first 24-hour radio station, B108 The Vibe.
Wow.
Online, yep.
Wow.
Wow.
See, this is why we mess with you, though, because, you talk about forward thinking. You knew where it was at before any of the rest of us had caught up to you.
Yep.
And that's why I feel like it's happening with this convention too. It's the same sort of thing. Like, and that's why I'm really happy that we're starting with you from the very beginning, because I only see bigger and better and brighter things for this convention, and yep. Whoop, whoop.
There we go. I'll take it.
I agree. I totally agree. I think, you won me over from the beginning.
Mhm.
And I think the fact, like we said, little Yvette would have loved this. And that's where it comes from for me. Just thinking about all those little kids who couldn't tell anybody that they were nerds, who couldn't be their true self in that space. I just couldn't do it, and I just, it just wasn't where I was living at the time. So I did have a space, the library, but could you imagine if I could go to a con and see people like me who were nerds like me and grown people who were nerds like me, and it was okay,
That's right.
who knows what have happened. So I just want that for somebody else, because I definitely make sure that my kids get to have this. So I would love people who don't have that safe space, because it doesn't even have to be kids, it could be grown-ups too. So
That's
Oh
right.
yeah,
as
no,
Black
no,
people,
most definitely, yeah.
especially as Black
That's
folks, you
yeah.
know.
There's a lot
Well,
of people
that's
that
why I
can't
said
afford.
6 to 75. We want
Yeah.
us all to be able to go somewhere and feel comfortable,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
and be able to go in and bask in it and sit there. And it's because I don't think people really understand when we were at the first one, and it was with all the running around I was doing, it was just this amazing moment when I was sitting there resting, and I was sitting on the main stage, and I was just looking out, and I'm like, these folks are here and they're having fun. These kids are running around. And then there's these older folks, and we're all sitting in here just talking about, reminiscing about, man, did you watch Doctor Who on the TV late at night? And then, and just all of this stuff, and just remembering, of course, we mentioned Michelle Nichols, and just everything. We just it was like, this is what we have to grow. That's
Mhm.
what this is a place where we can feel free to be who we are.
That's it.
And in every sense of the word. And I think it's funny, we know, all of us know the term, because it's normal everyday life for Black people. It's called code switching.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We it's but we don't we want a space where we don't have to code switch.
Mhm.
Just be who you are. If you're a horror freak, horror nerd, be that.
Yep.
If you're sci-fi, be that. If you're fantasy, be that.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter. Just be who you are and be in this space and enjoy it. And the crazy thing that happened with me also is that we had a lot of folks of other ethnic groups, and they were just like, they were looking at the artists and they were like, oh my God. They were just like seeing all the artwork, all the comics. They were like, we had no idea that there were this many Black people doing comics and being engaged in it, and just being in the space, or I had no idea. Like, one of the biggest oh wow moments for a lot of folks
Uh-huh.
was finding out that Kevin Grievous actually wrote the Underworld series. That is his series. He created that.
Wow.
And they were just
Wow.
like,
Yeah.
wait, you mean the big black werewolf guy? I was like, yeah, the big black werewolf guy. He was the one that actually wrote that story. That was him. So, yeah, those are those things that we want to open up other people's eyes to.
Right.
Right. Because we know a lot of the
Yeah.
times, but even though a lot of times we don't know, I mean, like,
Oh, listen, I didn't know. I love the Underworld movies. And when I first found out, he's an HBCU grad, went to Howard University. He's also a member of Alpha Phi Alpha. Yeah, he's just all over the place. So,
wow.
It was cool.
And then we're all like, oh
I know.
this,
I can't
love
wait.
this.
Can the con be tomorrow?
I wish.
I love that.
That means all the prepping work would be over.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
right. Yeah, right. Exactly. Because there's so
Oh,
much work to go to start. We have a lot of work coming up, and I think it's going to be. I love the partnership that we have, and our excitement makes it even more fun. You know what I mean? When we talk about it, because I think we all smile when we say it. When we say the Urban Nerd Con, and we kind of like smile a little bit.
It's like a thought con.
That's what we're gonna keep it. That's what it is. It's about that feeling.
Yeah.
Well, we are so excited to be working with you again, and to have a bigger role and be able to actually participate actively in the convention this year. And we want everybody else to get excited about it too. Like, I mean, come on, Mothership, and y'all jump on board, because we're gonna fly the Mothership on down to the ATL,
Yeah, baby.
and land right there. Bring some sci-fi sisters for your ass, baby.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right. We're gonna bring them all. We're gonna bring them all down. The whole posse's coming.
The whole posse.
Cannot wait.
Well,
Cannot wait. So,
well, Roy, thanks so much for being on the show tonight. Like, we're really excited, and folks, get those badges nice and early. That website is going up November 1st.
Yep.
So it's going to be out there before you know it. Go ahead and pick up your $50 badge.
Yep.
and go ahead and sponsor a Young Nerd badge, more importantly, too. All of these things can be done so nice and quickly and easily.
Yep. Exactly.
Give it as a gift for somebody. It's
That's
only
what I was thinking.
$50,
Yeah.
Shorty, that's a great
That's right.
gift.
What a great Christmas gift.
Right?
That's right. Think about
To
that,
give out to
Christmas,
someone, what a great Christmas gift. So
Mhm.
let's do this.
Let's do this, folks.
That's right.
Thank you
Did it
so
last
much,
time.
ladies.
Come on.
Thanks, Roy. We love you.
Yay.
So, Yvette, can you tell folks where they can get in contact with us if they have thoughts on the Urban Nerd Con or have questions or just want to say hi to Roy?
I sure can. You can find us at sci-fisistas.com. That's SYFYSISTAS.com. Join us on the Mothership. That's MUTHASHIP. And the Sci-Fi Sisters Book Club, both on Facebook. On Instagram, TikTok, and Threads, sci-fi.sisters. And we are also on that platform formerly known as Twitter at Sci-Fi Sisters. For more interviews in our infamous Top 10 series, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Sci-Fi Sisters Inc. Become a patron of Sci-Fi Sisters today at patreon.com/Sci-Fi Sisters. The Trek Geeks Network's presenting sponsor is Fansets. Go to fansets.com for pins and memorabilia for all your favorite franchises. Visit fansets.com and use Trek Geeks, all caps, for your exclusive 10% discount. After listening to this podcast, please rate us and write a review. We may just read it on an upcoming episode.
We want to say thank you to the baddest engineer in any and all universes. He's Dose, the anonymous one. He's responsible for all the Dose. I forgot his theme music again. He's responsible for all the music you hear on our show, except for his theme music, which we wrote because we're super talented. As well as production skills. And if you need him, hit him up on Instagram. He's Dose_the anonymous _1. And that's it for us today. Urban Nerd Con, let's go. April 2024, y'all. Woo-hoo.
Get those badges.